Yeah, sorry for the delay. I was trying to connect my network. So I believe you can all hear me. Alright. So I welcome every one of us to tonight's class. This is on NOU107, a study guide for the distance learning. So a study guide for the distance learning. In our last class we talked about instructional based on assessment mode. Yeah, that was what we discussed in the last class. So tonight we are going to be talking about semester examinations. Semester examination. Our exam is getting close now. At least the exam is supposed to start by June, probably the first week of June, because the exam for POP may end it. So we need to be familiar with this. The importance of this course, this NOU107, is the National Open University course to teach the students to allow them to know the guidelines for the distance learner. So that is the purpose. So for this semester examination, we are going to be looking at how the school works, how the examination season, time, how everything works together. In our previous units that we discussed about TMA and CMA. How the TMA was then, how the CMA was then, how everything started, how it works together, the importance of them. So those are what we talked about in our last class, in our previous unit. So, but for this unit, we are going to be looking at the semester examination. So let's look at the introduction of this. So under the introduction, let's look at what this unit is all about. So at first, this unit teaches you how to prepare and write semester exams effectively. So this unit teaches you how to prepare and write semester examination effectively in National Open University. So since National Open University is a distance learning system, you don't attend regular classes like in Unilag or UI. So your success depends heavily on how well you prepare on your own. The school is a distance learning, it's an open distance learning. For distance learning settings, there are no regular classes like you coming to the school every day, because the school is meant for us to be working and be learning. You can get your certificate while you work and learn. So it's more of a flexible settings. I will see some students saying, they are not having classes regularly, they are not this was the last time they had class. That is how it will be. There's no changes that can be done about that. Regular classes is not among the settings there, because most of the lecturers, they are working as part-time. Some of them are physically present in another school, maybe in Nigeria, maybe not in Nigeria. So the school settings is meant for you to be an independent reader, for you to be more of an independent student. So this unit will teaches you how to prepare and write your semester exams effectively, and everything we are going to be dealing. We're going to still explain the skills you need. So this unit will explain the type of examination you will write. To explain the skills you need, it will explain how to avoid common mistakes and how to control exam anxiety, how you can cope without panicking, what you need to do. So for the intended learning outcome, more like the objective, By the end of this unit, you should be able to understand how now exams are structured, and at the same time you should prepare effectively for exams, and you should be able to answer exam questions correctly. So all of this, and the fourth one, you should stay calm and focus during exam. So let's go into the main content of this unit. So the first one is structure for semester examination in National Open University. So what are the structure of examination, of a semester examination in National Open University? As we all know, we have 2 semesters in a year, which means if you are in 100 level now, you have 8 semesters to do. 2 semesters in 100 level, 2 semesters 200 level, 2 semesters 300 level, 2 semesters 400 level. So that's 8 semesters in total. So for the structure of semester examination in National Open University, let's look at what is an examination. That should be the first question. What is an examination? So an examination is a way of testing. An examination is a way of testing. Testing what? Of testing what you know. Of testing what you understand. How well you can apply knowledge. An examination is a way of testing what you know, what you understand, and how well you can apply knowledge. Before an examination can be given, there would have been a lesson, there would have been some discussion, there would have been a group reading, there would have been some notes that has been given to you. That is why school settings is different from life settings. Life will give you an examination before lesson, but when it comes to educational aspect, you'll be given a lesson before examination. So that examination is just like a way of testing what you've learned, like an assessment of testing testing what you understand, and of testing how well you can apply what you've learned to real life. Let's say a lesson given to you in a particular course was, let's say it is on business, business management, how to manage a business. After the lesson, then the examination that was given to you, that is going to be given to you, is going to be about the same management, how you can manage. Maybe you are given a question that, like, if you want to start as an entrepreneur, what kind of business management are you supposed to do? That might be a question that can be asked in that particular unit. Another question can be asked for what you understand. What do you understand by the word business management? Then for the how well you can apply knowledge, you might be asked that now that you have the basic knowledge about business management, how does this help your own business personally? So examination is just a way of testing our knowledge, of testing our knowledge on each of the courses, of testing us on what you have understand as a student. You claim you are done reading with your course material, or you claim you are done reading with your exam summaries. Now the question is, what do you understand? What do you understand about what is inside there? So an example here is, if you study GST courses like GST 101, exam test whether you understand the topic like communication skills, not just you cramming them. Now let's look at this example. It says you study GST courses. Okay, you study GST 101 for an example now. The exam test whether you understand topics like communication skills, not just you cramming them. And if you remember, under the GST 101, we talked about something like listening and enabling skills. We talked about communication skills, because GST 101 is literally about use of English and communication skills. And you are given a question like, what do you understand by communication skills? So for you to be able to know what is communication skills, for you to be able to tell us what you understand by the word communication skills, And for you to be able to apply what you learned to your real life problem, or to solve a real life problem, that is what is called examination. Just a way of testing. So let's look at the types of exams in National Open University. We have two types of exam in National Open University. We have two, just two. The first one is pen and paper exam. So we have pen and paper that we call POP. This one is going to start on Monday. So we have pen and paper exam, and this pen and paper exam is for who? It's for 300 level and above. This pen and paper exam is for 300 level and above. It's not an exam that 200 level students will write. It's not an exam that 100 level students will write. So it is exams for 300 level and above. And also it is for law students. Any student that is a law student, they are supposed, or they must write pen and paper exam starting from their 100 level, even though they don't accept students from 100 level. But starting from where you start, the exams you are going to be writing is basically POP. There are some 100 level students or 200 level students that are writing POP, but the only reason why they are writing POP is because they have some law courses among the courses they register. Maybe you as a mass comm student now, you registered GIED. You registered GIED, you are going to write it as pen and paper. If you registered CLL, you are going to write exam for it as POP, because those courses are law courses. So those courses are law courses that are just borrowed. And also for postgraduate students, if you are a postgraduate student also, you have to write pen and paper exam. Postgraduate students are people that are doing PGD or that are doing masters. So you are writing pen and paper exams. These are the three sets of people that write POP in National Open University. And what is the format for this exam? The format for this exam is just an essay question. An example now, they can say, explain the importance of communication in management. You'll be given questions. They might give you 1A, 1A, then 1B. They can say 1CI, 1CII. The way they used to set questions in our secondary school for theory, that is how they used to set it here for pen and paper exam. So the structures can be like, for 300 level, they might say answer 3 out of 5 questions. They'll be giving 5 questions, they will tell you to answer 3, and they will tell you that question 1 is compulsory, because the question 1 used to carry more mark than the rest. Then for 400 level to 500 level, they might say answer 4 out of 6 questions. Question 1 will also be compulsory. For you that are wondering that is there 500 level, yes, there's 500 level. Students that are studying agric, every agricultural courses is 500 level. Then all this health science also 500 level. So that is the structure for pen and paper exam. It is meant for 300 level students above, for law students, postgraduate students. And the kind of format they use to ask questions is essay. They use essay questions. So that is for the first type. And then let's look at the second type of examination. Second type of examination is the E-exam. So we have the E-exam. So for this E-exam, we call it CBT also. It is a computer-based test examination. And this one is meant for students for 100 level, for 200 level, and that 200 level except law. 2 years ago, the National Open University they were still admitting students for law. 2 years ago, you start from 200 level, but they are no more accepting students for law for undergraduate again. It's only for PhD now. So the E-exam, which is a computer-based test, is only meant for 100 level students and 200 level students. And the format of this question is multiple choice questions. You have a multiple choice questions, you have objective, you have fill in the gap. An example now, they might ask what is communication. They will give you a question, talking only, exchanging information, writing only, none. So the answer is B. So you will tick B, click on B, click on next. And when you get to the fill in the gap question, you type your answers there yourself, like this, and like those objective and fill in the gap that we used to do after each of the units. So this is why you 100 level student will mostly write. So this is what we are going to write. We 100 level students, this is the exam we are going to firstly write. Computer based test exam, CBT. You write it in your 100 level, you also write it in your 200 level. So those are the two types of exam that we have in National Open University: POP exam and E exam. So I said the POP is meant for 300 level above, for law students and for postgraduates, while the E exam is meant for 300 level, 100 level and 200 level students. So let's look at the types of exams in So let's look at the reason why exams are important. Why are they important? Why are exams important? I said exams is just a way of testing what we know. So why are exams important? Exams helps to certify you. Exam is important because it helps to certify you. That is the first thing. So exam helps to satisfy you, like to prove you pass. So an examination is something we do to prove that we pass, whether in our education aspect or in your place of work. So whether in your place of work, whether in an educational aspect, examination is something we do that prove that you pass. So just to prove that you pass, you will see that some interviews they will tell you that you have to, they will give you an exam to write before they give you that interview. So that is more like examination. Also it is used to select students for next level. Yeah, it is used to select students for next level. The exams you write in your 100 level first semester, the exams you write in your 100 level second semester, if you do well, you are going to be able to promote to 200 level. If you have a lot of carryovers, you will see that you will still come back there, even though your portal will reach 200 level, but you will still come back to come and write those 100 level courses. And you cannot graduate without finishing your carryover courses. So examination is also used to select students for next level. Then ensure accountability in education. Yes, so examination is important too for this. You will be able to account for yourself. Let's say you go inside the exam hall now. For an example, a student pass, you come out with a very good grade. That means you are accountable for yourself. You'll be very happy because this is what you prepared for. You'll be very happy because it is what you prepared for. And in the other way around, if I'm a student and I go into the exam hall and at the end of the day I didn't come out with a good grade, I scored very low grade, at the same time I will still be held accountable for my failure. It's not as if they will say it is because one lecturer did not take me at 105. It is because one lecturer did not take me GSTD, so that is why I failed. No, I will be held responsible for that. So let's look at the tips for preparing for examination. The tips that we need to prepare for examination. So preparation is the key difference between a student and carryover student. Let's look at this. Preparation is just the key difference between a student that has A and a student that has carryover. The difference between these two students is preparation. If you fail to prepare, you are preparing to fail. So preparation is the key difference between these two students. So part of this effective tips is start early. Don't wait till the exam starts. Don't wait till the exam week before you start. Don't say it should be it's till June now. June is still far. Or the first week of exam, maybe let's say the timetable comes, they drop the timetable, then you are like, okay, I will read a night before the class. I will read like 2 nights before the class. No, that is just the difference between A students and a carryover student. A student is going to prepare, is going to start early. You're going to start reading bit by bit to reduce the workload. But a student that is not prepared will be like, yeah, don't worry, I will read it in the morning. Even that night before the exam self, he will still sleep and still be like, let me wake up in the morning and read. That's when you will see them carrying books up and down during examination, finally looking for a place to read, to do a rush reading. So you need to start early. Don't wait till exam week. If you want to be an A student, you want to be an excellent student, you need to start early. An example is, if exams are in July, start revision in May, June. Now that we know that our exam is June, now that you are aware that our exam is June, how do we start? This is May. This is the 1st of May. 1st of May. Now, how do you prepare? There are still some of us that have not even opened other course materials. Yeah, and the excuse we will give is that, yeah, I don't have time, I don't have chance. No. If you want to become an excellent student, you need to have started your revision. Or let's say you need to start your revision now, which is today, at least. So that you will not be choked, so that you will not have to do a rush reading. So the examination for POP exam is going to end on the 21st of May. So which means probably first week of June or May ending, exam is going to start. So which means you have like 30 days to 35 days to prepare. And you have 9 courses to do, or you have 12 courses to do. How do you do this? So we need to start early. That is the number one effective tip to be an excellent student. Don't wait till the exam week. So let's continue. Let's look at number 2. Use past questions. Yes, this one is very important also. Although the past questions might not be repeated, but it's just for you to understand the exam pattern. Yeah, it helps you to understand the exam pattern. You as a fresher now, you are not familiar with how the questions are being asked, or you have not done national pre-university exam before. So you using that past question will help you to understand exam pattern. You'll be able to understand how it works. You'll be able to understand how they set their questions. So many now questions repeat. Yeah, I agree. Many now questions repeat, but most of this happens in POP. The questions are being repeat. They used to repeat questions mostly in pen on paper, but you see the E exam. The only thing that can happen is that, yeah, you might see a question like 7 to 10 times in your exam. Maybe you are doing this NOU107 now. You can see a particular question. It should be asked repeatedly, like 7 to 10 times. And imagine you don't know the answer to that question. Imagine you don't know the answer to that question, and they ask you like 7 times or 10 times. That means out of 70 marks, automatically 10 mark has been deducted because you don't know the answer. So an example here, GST past questions often repeat definitions. Yeah, that's just an example. But the key scope about this past question is just for you to understand the exam pattern, how the exam pattern works. So the third one is make summary notes. Yeah, make summary notes. Don't read full textbook again. Don't just read stories. Don't read stories. Learn how to read useful materials. Learn how to read the useful point, the main point in the material. Although you might see a book and be like, where do I start from? But at the same time, you that you want to read, you will know that when you are reading a particular content, you should be able to understand that this thing I'm reading is not having meaning. Just look for the main point there. Anvi, you are raising your hand. What's the issue? Yeah, good evening, sir. Yes. It's just more of like a way to just help the students. I can say it's a deliberate act. I can say it's a deliberate act. The reason is because you might sit down with your classmates that day of exam, and when your classmates log in for that particular course, you guys are not going to be doing the same course, like the same questions. It's going to be different questions. Imagine you not being able to help your classmates because maybe you want to sit down beside him because you feel like, yeah, you guys are doing the same course now. When you sit beside him, you guys are going to see the same question. But that's a very big lie. They have a lot of question banks, so they can just load your own number one might be his own number 70. That is if even that question is there. I've seen a situation where as a student, like both of them are classmates. The one that was teaching the one that teach the other one get 31, while the person that was teaching scored 13. Alright, Vera, can you hear me? Vera, you said you have a question. Vera, ask your question now. Should I continue? Alright. So as I was saying, the basic reason for asking questions like that is just to help the students, because if let's say they repeat a question 10 times and you know the answer to that question, that's like a added 10 mark to your other grades. So that is how it works. I can say they are doing it deliberately. So for the third one, make some summary notes. So let's try as much as possible. Don't read the full textbook again. Time is not by your side. You sitting down to be like, yeah, you want to form Superman, you want to form a super reading and sit down with 300 or something pages. You go take for there. So don't read the full textbook again. Just write the short point. While reading, practice a skimming reading. Before you read, do a skimming reading first. Get the basic idea. Then you can later go back there to just pick one or two. But make sure you practice this skimming reading. The all these things are not very difficult when your mind is there. They are not very difficult when you have a strategy to pick to it. They are not very difficult if you attend the lectures and you're able to get a very simplified understanding. For an example, now, instead of 5 pages on communication, just write the definition, the types, and the importance. The exam you are writing is CBT. You're not writing POP. POP is theory. That is when you need to learn the definition word for word. That is when you need to cram, understand and study very hard for the types, for the importance, because they can ask you to list them out, to list and even explain. That is for the theory part. But for the e-exam, it is objective or objective and filling the gap. So you don't really need to you don't really need to read extensively extensively like that. Just do a skim reading. The main thing you need to do is for you to have the basic idea or the general impression of everything. Once you're able to have the overall understanding of everything in your book, you are good to go. So the fourth one is create a reading timetable. This one is also important too. Create a reading material. So allocate time. So try as much as possible to allocate time per course. Create time. So allocate time per course. For an example now, you can say Monday GST 101, Tuesday Mark 121, like that. Create a timetable for yourself. This is going to make you more disciplined. This is going to make you more disciplined, and try as much as possible to meet up with the days, meet up with the time. Then study with other students. You can join with WhatsApp groups with yourself, with your classmates. Make sure you are doing it with someone that their own free time is also your own free time. Not with someone that your own free time is their own busy time. Maybe that's when they have to resume to work. Then discuss topics like the one we are doing now. This is more of like a study, trying to explain to us, and we are getting the understanding of it. For an example now study centers often have students forums and the rest. So you can study with other students for you to be able to understand. So let's continue. Another one is practice answering questions. This one too. Practice answering questions. Under every courses that you are doing, under every unit that you are reading, there are self-assessment questions there. So practice answering all these questions. Try as much as possible to practice. Try as much as possible to practice answering questions. You time yourself. Sure, you know there are some practice questions. There are some links for practice questions. You are time there. You can, for 2 unit courses now in the school. For 2 unit courses, it is 1 hour. While for 3 unit courses, it is 1 hour and 30 minutes. 2 unit courses is 70 questions. 3 unit courses is 100 questions. So you need to learn how to time yourself so that you'll be able to meet up with the exam. Then simulate exam conditions also. So while you are timing yourself, while you are practicing this exam mock exam, is it on? Eh? Blue network is connecting. Sorry for the disconnection. I just changed my network from Glo. Glo is so I was talking about practice answering questions. So you need to time yourself. and at the same time you need to simulate your exam conditions. So while timing yourself, you simulate the exam conditions. You make yourself have it like, it's just like you want to practice using the mock exam, but use the exam guidelines. Okay, you want to practice for 70 questions now. Use the exam guideline, which is 1 hour. You want to do for 3 unit courses, you want to do 100 questions. Use the exam timeline, which is exam guideline, which is 1 hour 30 minutes to guide yourself. So number 7, avoid cramming. Don't cram. Yeah, this is something we students find very exciting, but it doesn't work at all. Although it works, but at the same time it doesn't go a very long way. So cramming is just like you forgetting after exam. Imagine you cram, and you cram, you go inside the exam, or yeah, you've actually arranged everything. After pouring everything down, you forget after examination. And about this thing, there's something very funny about cramming. It's funny about cramming. When you cram, you see this national university exam, there's a kind of tension that comes in. There's kind of tension that comes in when you are doing this. Yeah. What's going on? But when you get to that, it's time for your exam. The first thing that will disorganize you is the queue. There's going to be a queue. And imagine you lining up for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes before you enter the exam hall. Now everything you thought you've crammed will start to leave you, because on the queue there's no way you will do it. You will feel tired. You want to talk with someone. You want to complain that why will the queue since now? Where did I wait till they stop? Sometimes the students will push themselves, sometimes they fight, sometimes they push themselves and the rest. And you've crammed though. Like that, in your mind you believe that there's still something in your head. Then you get up there again, you still queue again. Then people that are leaving the exam hall, that are leaving the seat, they will start telling you to go and sit down here, go and sit down here, go and sit down here. Then you sat down. Then you log in your matric number and you start. When you start, the first question you will see, or the first 2 questions that will pop out, will be something that you have not even seen before. Then tension comes in. That tension alone will make you to forget everything you have crammed. So that is why it is not advisable for you to cram. Don't cram. This is not a theory question. You are not going there to go and solve a theory question. Instead, you are going there to go and do objective questions and filling the gap. So don't cram. Just read for general understanding. Once you understand the unit, once you understand the course, you'll be able to answer any objective questions. Let's say you are doing 70 questions and you're able to 70 questions. Let's say 30 objective, 35 filling the gap. If you're able to answer the 30 objective correctly, or at least 25 questions out of the 30 objective correctly, and you're able to, out of 35 or 40 that is filling the gap, you're able to answer 10, even if it is 10 correctly, that's 35 mark for you. And if your test is 30, or is like 28, 29, even if it is 25 plus 35, that's 60. That's B. So which means you don't really need to work yourself. No, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. You don't really need to choke yourself that much. This is just a calculation and how to just work and balance everything together. So avoid cramming. This is not advisable at all. From the experience, it is not advisable at all. You might cram and it will work for you, I agree. So number 8, stay motivated. Yes, stay motivated. Remember your goal, which is graduation, or maybe you are coming to National University for your job promotion. So remember your goal. It is very important. Stay motivated. Don't allow anything to make you feel bothered, to make you feel. Don't allow anything to make you feel bothered, to make you feel relaxed. Number 9, manage exam anxiety. Yeah, please, this one is very important. Let's try to sleep well. Let's try to eat properly. Let's try to arrive early at the CBT center to avoid yourself rushing. Don't come to the school and faint, I beg, because there are cases like that on our last semester. Eat. If you know that you are not fit, if you know that you are not that sharp, and you still want to come to write the exam, eat well. When you come to the exam, relax, sit down first, drink water. Don't go and join the queue. Don't join the queue. Just sit down close to the exam, or they will allow you to, once you see that they are going in, join them and go in. If you get upstairs, if there's still a queue there, find somewhere to sit. If you are feeling it, move out of the crowd, please. So let's try as much as possible to manage exam anxiety. Yes, please, let's try. So you try to sleep well, you try to eat properly, don't pass out. Yeah. So what to avoid during examination? So let's look at the things you need to avoid as a student during the examination. So these mistakes fail many students in Nigeria. So the kind of mistakes that fails many students in Nigeria. The first one is not answering the question properly. Yes, not answering the question properly, like you are misunderstanding the question. Example now, question says explain, and you student, you that you want to answer, you are listening, and the question says explain, so that means you are wrong. The second one, not okay. Let me explain this: not answering the question properly. Now, in a situation where you are doing an objective and filling the gap, the filling the gap question says, let me use this number 8 as an example, that says remember your goal. Then in the filling the gap section, they put a space, a line or a box, which you have to type in graduation and job promotion. But because you don't know how to answer the question properly, you went ahead to start typing remember. The question says remember your goal, then you are typing here as a student, so that you can graduate, or maybe for your job promotion. Like, all those unnecessary stories are not needed. What is needed in the fill in the gap section is sometimes just a word, max 2 words combined together. So that is why we need to use the past questions. We need to test ourselves using the mock exam also. So misunderstanding the question, answering the questions wrongly, can actually make us to fail. Then the second part is not using the course material. Yeah, you writing your personal opinion instead of what is inside the textbook can make you to fail, especially in this national pre-university. You go fail, tire. So you must make sure you use the textbook facts. According to the question that Vera asked under the chat box, she said she's asking that is it a must that you must answer using the course material? Yes, it is a must. If course materials tells you that fast, I think there was a question that I asked here that day, and the correct grammatical word for it is faster. But inside the course material they use the word fast, which is grammatically wrong. So the student was like, it's supposed to be faster. Yeah, I agree, it's supposed to be faster. We both know that it is supposed to be faster, but the person that is marking this thing, the computer that has been programmed to mark for fast, we know if there's no way you can explain to that computer that, yeah bro, faster is the correct one, fast is not correct. No. So that is why your personal opinion does not matter. What they want to see, what they want you to give back to them is the textbook facts. The textbook facts. Very simple and short. Just go there, do what you need to do, collect your mark and leave. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is overloading with facts. Too many definitions, no explanations. This one is the kind of situation that happens in theory, pen on paper. Yeah, you ask the question, you are just giving definitions, you are not explaining, and the question says explain. The question does not tell you to define. There's a difference between define a fact and explain what is a fact. There's a difference between that. Yeah, define a name. For example, now define Fumilayo. Yeah, Fumilayo is the meaning of Fumilayo in English. Give me joy. That's the English meaning of Fumilayo. So if you have to define Fumilayo, yeah, state of giving you joy, or process of giving you joy. But if you have to say explain Fumilayo, yeah, that's where you say Fumilayo is she's a lady, she's 20 something, she's married, she's with 2 kids and the rest. So you overloading with facts is also a way where our students can fail their own exam. Then poor time management. This one too is very important. You must be a good timer. You must know how to manage your time. So spending too much time on one question can actually make you not to pass. You cannot know this whole 70 question. There is no way. You cannot know it. Let's say you even know it. You cannot get 70. You can't even get 60 over 70. Yeah, I've seen someone that gets 55, but you can't get 60 over 7 max. That is the max score I've ever had in that school, 55. So to tell you that even though you have to pick everything, I'm sure that if you should carry textbook inside the hall, you cannot still get 70 because of the marking guide. So don't spend too much time on one question. When you know that you don't understand this, move to the next one. If you are done with the ones that you know, then you can now go back to the ones that you don't know and start struggling with that. You know that even if the time should go, even if the material should, even if the computer should automatically submit for you, at least you have done the ones you know first. So CBT example now. Don't spend 5 minutes on one question. Don't even try it. You are given 1 hour to do 70 questions, and in an hour, 60 minutes makes an hour, abi. So you are given 70 questions, which means even if you have to give 1 minute for one question, you will still need 10 more minutes, because it's supposed to be 70 minutes for 70 questions, 1 minute for each question. But you are given 60 minutes for 70 questions, which means you have less than 1 minute to solve a question. At least 0.30 to 0.40 minutes to answer, 0.40 to 0.30 to 0.40 seconds to answer one question. So imagine you spending 5 minutes on one question. That means that 5 minutes you are supposed to spend it on like 10 questions, and you are spending it on one question. That's very wrong. So don't spend too much time. If you are doing physics, you are doing maths, just do the one you know first. Do the ones you know first. So number 5, poor preparation. Yeah, this one too used to make students fail. You are giving a dirty work, no paragraph at all. But all of these are for pen and paper students. You are giving an answer booklet. Your work is very rough. You are just cancelling. No paragraph. Or you are not following the instructions. They are telling you that don't write on the margin. You turn the margin to your writing point paper. So no paragraph. So those are the basic things that can make you to fail as a student, that you need to avoid. So let's look at the self-assessment. the 10 do's, like what you must do, a good practice. You must start reading early. Yeah, this is very important. Start to read early. You must start reading early. Let's say you have a course material that is like 100 pages. If you read one out of the pages today, you are going to be left with 99 pages. If you read two tomorrow, 98 pages. So which means if you start early, it will reduce the workload for you. Then use past questions. Use past questions. It's very important. Then attend tutorial classes. So it's very advisable also, like the ones we are doing. Then make summary notes. Practice CBT tests. Then read instructions carefully. Manage your time well. Stay calm. Revise regularly. Sleep well before the exam. So these are just the things we need to do as a student. You need to sleep well before your exam. Don't come to the exam although the AC and the fan, I'm not sure behind, but I think they're working on that. But don't don't go and sleep inside the exam hall and you sleep and forget that your time is going. Stay calm. Make sure you are fit. Make sure you are not rushing yourself. Don't be among the people that they will come to the school like 30 minutes before exam or 20 minutes before exam, they start reading and rushing. No, don't be like those ones. Read. Manage your time very well. When you come to the school, if you have the chance, yeah, you can just revise. Not that you want to learn new things. Revise the ones you've learned already. So those are the 10 do's that I can give for a self-assessment. Then the 10 don't. What you need to avoid. Don't cram. Don't cram. It's not advisable. Exam tension is real. I used to advise students to buy chewing gum. Chewing gum when you want to enter the exam or chewing gum used to help to reduce tension. Exam tension is real because when you submit, you see your scores immediately. Imagine you having that kind of mind that I don't read. Then after your kurukere, you don't do everything. Then you submit, then you see 10. You see 10, you just weak. So that is why you don't need to cram. Just go there with a very calm and a positive mind. Aim higher. If you aim high, if you score, maybe you aim for 40 and you score 35, you score 30, you will not be pained because yeah, you are still at that place. But if you be like let me just go and get my 10 and be 15, you can later get 5 or you can later get 2 self over 70. It's possible. If it is not possible, there will not be 2, there will not be 1, there will not be 0. It is possible. I've started with someone that gets 7, so it is possible. So that is why don't cram. So don't read only one topic. Yes, you have a lot of courses, a lot of topic in your book. Don't just sit with one topic and start because I love this topic very much. I love this topic very much. No, don't stick with one. Don't stick with one topic. Read everything. Have a general impression of everything. Then don't go late to exam hall. Please don't come late to the exam hall. Once you are 30 minutes behind, they will lock the exam. They will lock the exam hall. So to avoid you begging, you crying and the rest, don't come late. If you know you are staying very far away, calculate yourself before you come to the exam. If you are staying around all this Lekki those routes, yeah, now the road is okay, but during that exam time there used to be traffic. But at least calculate your journey, like 2 hours. Make sure you are like 2 hours. You give like 2 hours timing between your coming and your exam. You have exam by 8:30. Leave your house by 6. If you get here before 8:30, it's still better. If you know that you will just sit and go in and write, it's better than you getting here after 8:30. Because once it's 9 o'clock, They used to give the grace of 30 minutes. Once it's 9 o'clock, they will lock the gate. So don't panic. Don't panic. Don't put fear in yourself. When you want to go to the exam or you see them like, what will I write today? I pray I pass, I pray. Especially those women, those ladies, they're the ones that used to give that kind of attitude. Don't panic. See them shivering, like, yeah, what will I do today? Then don't guess blindly. Once you enter the exam hall, if it is a question you don't know, don't answer it. Continue. You can later find the answer in another objective question. That is how objective questions is. That is how filling the gap is. You can see the answer to number 1 in number 70 if you are smart. You can see the answer to number 10 in number 30 something. That is if you are smart. So that is why when you start your question, you need to put your eyes on them. Look at the way the questions are being asked. Anyone you don't know, leave it. Just take note of that place. Then go forward. Then anytime you see anything connected to that question that you did not know, look at the answer there. Go back, put the answer there. Very simple. Don't ignore instructions also. When you want to enter the exam hall, there are instructions that you need to put your mind into. There are certain instructions that you need to follow. So don't ignore them. Then don't depend on expo. Yeah, please. This one is not advisable. Once you are being caught, you are going to block your portal for 2 semesters. That's a year. And if you are caught with a phone, you are caught with doing all this impersonification, they are going to block your portal for 2 years. That's 4 semesters. So we need to be very careful. Don't depend on expo. Go there with. That is why you need to prepare yourself. Anybody that wants to disturb you in your exam, anybody that wants to use his own unfortunate mindset to cover you, you just stay focused and tell the person to calm down. There are scenarios where you might not be the one talking, but because of their talking beside you, they will tell you that you are the one talking, and the others, instead of them to be like you are not the one talking, they will keep mute. And once they book you for examination malpractice, once they write your name, you are not going to see the results for that course. 2, they are still going to block your portal, or they will tell you to come and face panel. So don't overthink question. Yeah, this one too is also important. Don't overthink question. Any question you don't know, move on with them. They are all objective. Nothing is move on. So move on. And another one is don't submit without checking. So don't submit any of those questions without you checking. Make sure you check before you submit. Make sure you go through your work if you have the time before you submit. So these are the don'ts. So let's look at the summarization of this unit. Exam test your knowledge. So as we all know, as I've said earlier, exam is just like a way to test for our knowledge and understanding. Just a way of testing. So, and I said now we use CBT, which is for 100 level and 200 level, and we use POP. These are the type of exam studies that we do. So preparation include, what are the kind of preparation? It includes revision. So, and I said preparation is the difference between an intelligent student and a carryover student. So preparation includes revision, past questions, and time management. Then I said avoid mistakes like your poor timing, you misunderstanding questions, and more of everything. You stay calm and focus. You must stay calm, you must stay focused. Okay, Oyeka, well of life, you have a question to ask?
Also, I'm going to ask maybe if you can help us with last question. So I've been trying on the
Okay, sir.
You
Alright, sir. So I was talking about avoid mistakes like poor timing and to understand the questions, stay calm and focus. So there's a basic thing about this course, about this school. When it's come to their exam time, you know, crowd and much, even people that you will not see, that's where you get to see them. So that is where you get to see them. So just put your mind, be positive about things. Once you're able to get to the exam more early, once you have your revision done already, you've read. You don't need to know everything inside the book, but you having the general understanding of everything, general impression of everything is okay. And you stay calm and focus. So that is for this unit. So let's go into the practice questions that are here. So for the first one, it says explain the structure of semester examination in NOU. According to my explanation here, according to what we have been seeing on the screen, you can just brief me like the structure of the semester examination in NOU, like how it works, what kind of structure, how many exams do they do, how does the type of exams they do, how does it work? So who can help us out in this? Like the structure of the semester examination, as I've said earlier from the onset, you can just brief us on how the kind of exams we do.
But I think it's
Yeah, POP. Yes. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So we have exam, we have pen paper. POP is for 300 level students above, the postgraduate, the law students. While exam is for 100 level and 200 level students. So second question says list and explain the 5 tips for preparing for examination. So you as a student now, can you give me like 5 tips for you preparing for your own exam? What kind of tip can you recommend for the rest to prepare for their exam? It might be according to what we've discussed today. It might be from your own understanding. What kind of tip are you using to prepare for your exam? Alright, Alice.
create a study timetable.
Yeah, Christine.
Plan your reading schedule.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Check it some. Yes, that is very true. So yeah. Yeah, please. That's very important. Add it. First, sleep well. Even if you have to take and I just sleep, eat well. So thank you very much, Alice. Alright, Mr. Oyeka. Mr. Oyeka, are you active with us?
Okay, I will So number one is use past and constant letters like the way it's done.
Yes.
Number two is
It will drink enough water. Yeah, don't use a spoon.
do not allow other people to disturb you during the exam.
Alright. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your contribution. So number 3, let's discuss like the 5 common mistakes students make during exam. So what are the kind of mistakes students make during exam? So okay, Oluwadamilola.
So,
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. Eh? What did you say? Did it? Yeah. Yeah. I can hear you. Okay. Okay. Yes, I heard that part. Okay. Yeah, your continuation. Okay. The network has Chakwa for you. Read this thing.
that is like misunderstanding the question.
Yes.
Answering it wrongly. And number two,
Yes, I can hear you, Mama. I'm here with you.
and number two, the student not using course material.
Yes. 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 Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mama. So yeah, she was able to tell us the 3 common mistakes that students can make during exam. Yeah, like poor preparation, answering where, answering according to the course materials, within your own personal idea, personal opinion. All of these are very wrong. So who can still add to it before we go to the objective question and the filling the gap? Yeah, the 5 common mistakes students make during exam. Yeah, some of us will cram. This is a very big mistake. Avoid cramming. Avoid cramming. Then please try to eat. I don't know, but I really want us to understand that part. Let's try to be fit before we come to the exam. The examination environment is not that, how will I put it? It's not that, yeah, I can't. if I have to use the word conducive self, it's not that peaceful. Yeah, it's more like a war. Everybody wants to go back to work. Everybody wants to go and do something. Everybody wants to go and so everybody wants to go back. Some of us want to go back to work. Some of us want to go back to the market. Some of us want to meet up with some things. So you see pushing, you see this and that, you see them. So and students will always be students, no matter how old they are. Although they might be forming big girl, forming big boy, but when it comes to the exam period, the way they used to push and the rest. So make sure you are fit. Yeah, for this kind of the reason why I'm saying more of it is for us to just have a very better examination and go, because for these things now, last semester I lost a student because of it. The guy died because of the stress. He actually fainted upstairs, and before they rushed him downstairs, he passed out like that, just like that. So that is why we must try as much as possible. If you know you are not fit, stay. Don't join them to queue first. Once they are going in, go in with them. Then once you get upstairs, tell the supervisor that is there that you are not fit, so that they will find a place for you to sit or just tell you to enter. And if you know you cannot come, don't come. If you did not do the exam, you are not failing in life. So please, let's put that in mind. So let's go into the objective questions that we have for the night. Sorry, hold on. So let's look at the objective questions here. So for the first one, it says now 100 level students, they write dash exam. What kind of exam is now 100 level students writing? Yeah. So you guys write. They write CBT exam, which is a computer-based test. Why for number two? POP stands for dash. Pen on paper, correct. So number three. Now look at the way they write this pen on paper. If you are seeing this as a filling the gap question, make sure you put that hyphen, pen, hyphen on, hyphen paper. Pen, hyphen on, hyphen paper. So that's for pen on paper. Then question three. Exams are used to measure dash. Exams are used to measure knowledge. Number four, one good preparation method is what? Yeah, using past questions. Using past questions is a very good preparation method. Then number five, poor time management leads to dash. Yeah, poor time management leads to failure. Yeah, God will not allow us to fail. So let's look at filling the gap. Examination is a way of testing dash and ability. Examination is a way of testing knowledge and ability. Testing, knowledge, understanding, and ability. Okay. So which one is more correct? between testing knowledge and understanding. Testing knowledge. Yes, examination is a way of testing knowledge. So number two, now uses dash exam for 100 level students. Yes, so you, you can for the E exam. What does that E stands for? If you are saying E exam, electronic, yes, electronic exam. So now uses electronic exam for 100 level students. CBT, yes, CBT. So number three, students should make dash notes when preparing. What kind of notes should students make when preparing? Talked about yeah, summary notes. Thank you. So summary notes should be make when you are preparing. Number five, writing irrelevant answers leads to dash mark. Yeah, low mark, low marks. When you write irrelevant answers, it leads you to get a very low mark. So number five, reading early. Reading early helps to reduce exam dash. Eh? Is this is this stress? Did you use the word? No, that was not what we used. We used a word instead. No, we use anxiety. We use anxiety instead of tension. We use anxiety. So reading early helps reduce exam anxiety. And you read early, it reduces your anxiety. It reduces stress. So that is for tonight's class. We are going to continue again tomorrow. I really appreciate every one of us that has yeah, joined us tonight. So we are going to continue on GST 103 tomorrow. Please let's make use of all these things that we've learned tonight. Try to start early. Try to yeah. So let's try to put it. Yeah, I'm going to do that when we join. I'm going to send it to the group directly for you so that I can see. So that all right, sir. Yeah, once it goes off, the ones you've answered already, it's going to score you based on the ones you've answered already. So that is why it's advisable for you to answer the one you know first. The ones that you are struggling with, just leave them first. Answer the ones you know first, then you come back to the ones you are struggling with. Then even if the time should go off by then, you know that you've solved the one you know, so that you can be graded well. There, yeah, there's calculation for them. Filling the gap is involved. They can give you an equation like 3x plus 2y plus 3x plus this, and they will just put a box for you to type the answer. They can tell you that exponential 10 times 3 is what. They will tell you to put the answer. So you have to know how to be familiar with your keyboard. Know how to press raise to power in your keyboard. Know how to press exponential in your keyboard and the rest. So is filling the gap an objective for math also? That is why I said for that math and physics, just do the one you know. Don't choke yourself. You can't get all. Sure you get, so just and then you'll be given the chance to use calculator and workings. See you now. Sure, you understand for that. But so once you go through the past questions, you will see how they are being set. You'll be able to catch up with it. And I'm going to send that to the group this night so that you can see. So yeah, let's we are going to meet tomorrow. Thank you everybody, and let's have a very lovely night rest. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, yeah, Alice, good night.